Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do continue, let's give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. Now, in the last part, Deku, he was given a bit of a problem. Now, reality has changed ever so slightly. The House of M event happened, and Deku, he learned about the alternate timeline. He talked to Logan. Then he talked to Iron Man. He talked to a few different people about what was going on. And he was given a new suit, the Iron Spider suit. Now, Izuku, he talked to Tony Stark and Captain America. And he was making his decision. He thought it was the right one. But then he thought wrong. His spider sense started to go off. And Deku didn't know why. He didn't know why the alarm in his head was getting louder and louder the more he was going to pull off his mask. But then he figured it out. Revealing his identity would put everybody around him in danger. He knew that, but he was willing to take the risk. But with that alarm being ever so present in his mind, he didn't do it. Deku had a panic attack, and he ran off before he got his mask off. And a lot of people, they saw that. Spiderman refused to comply. And that means, along with Captain America, he is one of the top people who's just become an outlaw. Now, Deku is trying to swing away. He is trying to calm down. And right now, he has a lot running through his mind. All of the ideas in his head, everything. It comes to bear down the full weight of the burden, being a superhero. And Deku, he's trying to calm himself down, but he can't. He is panicking. He is afraid. And right now, they go after Deku. They wanted to bring him back in. Because, well, he very clearly needs to be brought in. Maybe after a second, yeah, he'll be fine. But right now, Deku, he doesn't want to sit there. And they come flying down. As Deku is going to look up to see Thor. And right now, the God of Thunder, he puts Deku's spider sense directly back into overdrive. And Deku, he goes to bring his hands to his head. And I'm going to scream out in pain. And right now Thor, he goes to step forwards, talking about it. He needs to come back. Tony Stark had everything set up. And Izuku, he does need to comply. The Iron Man said he had to reveal himself. Do not be afraid of what this does mean. Greater challenges and greater foes will always come for him, but he will always prevail. Come out on top. And right now, Thor, he goes to step forwards, bringing his hand up as Deku. The moment he remembers Thor's there, he goes to look up. His warning system blaring out louder, and Deku is going to pull back his fist. Him going to clock Thor as hard as he can, and tell him just to leave him alone. Now, Thor is sent smashing into the air, and right now he's sent flying down the street. And Thor was actually mighty impressed. A tiny man, but a powerful blow. That on his mind, as currently Thor knows how to get up from the crater he was just put in. And he was going to fly back in a battle. This will definitely be fun. And right now Thor, him and Deku do begin to fight. Now, Deku, he is panicking. And right now with his head as confused as it is, he is not in the mood for all of this. Now, Thor is going to move back in. However, Tony Stark, he himself goes to move in. He tries to tell Thor to calm down and to step away from the kid. And Tony, he's trying to at least analyze Deku's, vitals. He got into the suit. And Deku, his heart rate is going crazy. I mean, he's in the full midst of an episode, and Mr. Stark is not happy about that. He wants to try and shut down the suit, but with the fact that it's lacking much tech and many things like that, it can't really be shut down. Yes, it can be frozen, but Deku, he ultimately has the power to make it move. His super strength means he can't be locked up, and that's a problem for Tony. Right now, he's thinking about what he did. He thought he had Deku on his side, but apparently not. And Deku, he actually does go to turn and move. As Thor, He is right now flying back into the battle. And Iron Man, he does float there in the air. Him currently going to stop Thor and tell him about what to do. The kid is panicking, and he's not thinking clearly. So let him handle this. And right now, Thor, he's a bit more bummed out. He wanted to test out the tiny Avenger. But apparently, no. Now, Stark, he goes to fly in. And currently, while Deku is moving with the spider appendages on the buildings, he has a lot go through his mind. He wants to go home. That's it. He just wants to go home. And currently, they saw what happened. They suited up, and they headed out. Right now, the Avengers are trying to hunt down Spider-Man. And Deku. Deku is very clearly not going to comply. So, she needs to help out. And currently we do have Iron Man. Iron Man tried to stop Deku. He tried to get him to do something. But whenever Deku, he didn't comply, Tony, he brought his hand up. Him going to hack into the suit and turn off the Iron Spider features. Now, whenever the legs froze up, Deku brought his hands out. Him jumping onto the ground and then throw himself up in the air, pressing off the building high. As Deku, he does get sent flying up high. And currently Tony does get someone to analyze that. Him seeing Deku up in the air as he does start to fall. He's going to turn back. And right now Tony, he does try to fly up. Him actually grabbing Deku and catching him. As right now Tony, he does going to fly up high. Him isolating Spider-Man for a private conversation. And Deku, he is trying to fight to break free from Tony's suit. And Tony, he's actually alarmed. His suit is locked up. But right now, Spider-Man is actually putting up a decent fight. And Deku, he's talking about it. He tells Stark to let him go, because otherwise it's not going to be pretty. And Tony doesn't like that threat. And right now the two do float in the air. Him telling Deku. He gave him that suit so he could help him, so he could be on his side. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. What are you talking about, kid? My spider sense. It's still ringing. It won't stop. Okay, kid. Calm down. What's it doing? It's my early warning system. It tells me when there's danger, but I don't get it. There's no danger, but it's still going off. Oh. So that's what that does. What are you talking about? Kid, maybe this will help reset it. Tony? What are you talking about? I'm sorry, I hope this helps. I'm gonna let go. And Deku is gonna fall. Right now there's a lot going through his mind. Tony Stark just dropped him. And Deku's spider sense, it's blaring out loud. It's blaring out louder and louder and louder. And Deku doesn't understand. It's still going off. His head is pounding. And right now Deku, he feels himself beginning to slip from consciousness. Something is clearly wrong. The spider sense, it won't turn off. And right now they do come to fly in. Them actually seeing Deku fall as they go to grab onto him. Them going to spin their body and going to throw out a web. Them going to pull themselves in the other direction. As right now, Spider-Woman, she saved Deku. However, the two are currently being pursued by Iron Man. And, well, let's just say, Sue Storm. Now, Reed Richards is currently working on something. And the two, they do get stopped by Sue Storm and Iron Man. As Sue, she basically put an invisible wall around the entire block. And Iron Man, he tried to talk about it. He wanted the kid to come back in, try again, and hopefully this time things don't change. And Deku, he was adamant this time. He told Mr. Stark no. And Tony got angry. Him actually going to bring his hand up and talk about it. He's sorry about this then. Him going to charge up his repulsor. As Jessica, she threw out her hand. Her going to web it up. As Reno Sue Storm, she brought her hands up. Her going to try and trap Jessica in a box. As she did the exact same thing to Spider-Man. Now, Deku, he actually tried to bring his hands up. Him going to throw out his fist directly into the box. And right now, Sue Storm does try to keep focus. As Deku, he goes to punch away at it. And right now, She does won't stand there as Iron Man. He does bring his hand up. Annoyed at this stupid, him going to bring his hand out, blasting it at full power as the repulsor does burn away the spider webs. And Tony, he does going to talk about it, stepping forwards. He really is sorry. As you know, Ben Grimm does going to show up, and the two Spider family members are stuck there. As Deku, he goes to actually pull back his fist, this time going to send out a solid smash, or a solid, well, punch. Now, Deku, he was already cracking away at the illusion, or the invisible wall. But right now, whenever Deku is going to smash his fist out this time, he goes to shatter the box. And Sue Storm is going to fall forwards, her grabbing at her nose, as right now she is going to pull back a handful of blood. And Deku is going to look towards Iron Man. Him going to bring his hand up and get ready. About to blast Deku as Deku is going to turn and dodge out of the way of it. Ben Grimm going to rush forwards. And Deku, he actually is going to turn back to Jessica, her punching away at her own, well, solid prison. Now, Deku, he turned to see her. And whenever she actually saw him, Deku brought his hand out. Him going to throw his hand directly out towards Ben, blasting his webs and webbing him up in the face. But we're going to rush forwards. Him actually going to pick up the thing and go to turn, tossing him as hard as he can directly at Jessica. As where the construct was smashed and Ben rammed into basically a solid brick wall, if not something sturdier, he definitely felt the impact. And right now Deku went to go turn back to Iron Man. And Iron Man, he brought his hand back up, blasting out his repulsor, but we're going to blast out a chest beam. And Deku, he brought his hand up. Him going to actually throw out a spiderweb as he dodged out of the way of the repulsor. Him being struck directly in the chest by the unibeam. Him smashing backwards onto the ground. He definitely felt the impact. He felt like he was hit by a train. But right now Ben Grimm is going to bring his hand out, grabbing down at Deku as Jessica, she brought her hand up. Her going to smash Ben Grimm across the face as Ben actually went to go turn, throwing his shoulder out and hitting her. Her being sent flying through the air as Deku, he was picked up. And right now Deku, he was given a choice. Him being told by Ben to stand down. Because what happened in that city, it affected Johnny. Johnny is lying in a hospital bed unconscious, and he hasn't woken up since then. If Deku thinks that this is the bad call, then he should know. It's affected people personally, and it might save his life. And Deku does refuse. Him actually yelling at Ben Grimm, throwing his fist outwards and smashing him in the gut. And Ben is actually going to feel the pain. And Deku, he doesn't actually pull back and away. As Ray does look at Ben Grimm, he does fly forwards. Him smashing his fist out at her, as right now, well, at him, as right now they do going to come in. And Deku is going to face off against She-Hulk. As right now, next to her is Doc Samson and Captain Marvel. And Deku, he actually doesn't jump backwards. Captain Marvel going to rush forwards and grab Deku. Her currently going to fly him into a building and smash him directly into it. As Deku, he actually is then punched directly across the face. Him going to bring his hand up and blast her directly in the face with his webs. Her mouth being covered along with her nose. As right now, whenever she was going to let go, Deku has the opportunity. Him actually being let go and smashing into a fire hydrant. Before going to roll and smash into a lamppost. Him going to get himself back up onto the, off of the ground. As right now, Captain Marvel goes to bring her hands up, blasting away at the webs. We're going to turn, looking back towards Spider-Man. And Deku, he actually has a few ideas. Taking her down is definitely going to be hard. Marvel's powers are energy projection and flight. Okay, so what can he do? What can he do? He needs something fast, quick. Overloaded. She absorbs energy. Too much of it will hurt. Then on Deku's mind. And currently, there actually is the thing. Who he is shouldn't go back in and handle Deku. Him and Captain Marvel should be enough. However, right now there actually is Jessica, who is trying to get back away. She came in to save Deku. And right now they need to run. Like, really run fast. But Deku, he's adamant about fighting. And right now whenever Captain Marvel does go rushing back towards him, Deku does throw out a taser web. Him blasting it at her, as she is going to absorb the power, she just don't stand there. As the webs do going to blow up and directly cover her body. And right now the thing does go rushing forwards. Deku going to bring his hand out and meet the thing with a clash. As Deku, he actually just goes stumbling backwards when the thing rushed forwards and brought his hand up, grabbing Deku by the head and then going to smash him down into the ground. As Deku, he actually is going to feel the thing smash its fist down into Deku. Before Deku is going to bring up his leg, kicking the thing as hard as he can in the back. And the thing, he actually is sent flying forwards, as Deku is going to stand back up. And right whenever he does get a turn and face off against the thing, he's blasted in the back by Captain Marvel. Him screaming out in pain as he does go falling forwards. And right now Deku, his body is shaking. His spider sense is going off again. And that does mean the danger is still nearby. The danger is still here. And whenever Captain Marvel is going to rush forwards, her actually going to bring her hands out and grabbing onto Deku, Deku's going to turn. Him going to smash her across the face as hard as he can. And Captain Marvel is sent flying, smashing into other heroes. As Deku's going to turn back to the thing. Him going to look at him as the thing does going to stand on his feet. Him walking forwards. As he does going to rush forwards to meet Spider-Man. And Deku is going to stand there. And whenever the thing is going to throw out one of his fists, Deku is going to duck, bringing his hands up and smashing the thing upwards into the, well, neck. If not, into the bottom of his jaw. Setting him up, flying into the air as Deku is going to bring his hand up. Throwing out his weapon, going to turn. Him going to spin and throw Deku directly him going to spin and throw the thing back into Doc Samson. As right now Deku, he has to look towards Jessica. Right now, Captain Marvel, she got back up. And she's definitely feeling the effects of that last hit. So Deku, throwing out all his force, could take her down. And that does tell him something. But right now his body, he's taking too much damage. He's not doing too well. And right now, backup has arrived. As Captain America, him and his team were deployed. And this time, Deku, Rita is going to actually stand there. Captain America does somewhat bring his hands up. Him trying to stop the conflict and tell him about what to do. As the superheroes, they don't back down. And Deku, where he does going to rush forwards, he does start fighting. He tries to take on everyone that he can. He's adamant about keeping his secret identity. But Deku, he takes a beating. Right now he's facing off against She-Hulk. And Deku, whenever he actually is punched across the face, he throws his fist down directly into her gut, smashing her up in the gut, as right now she is going to feel all that force hit her abs. Her going to somewhat lean forwards, as Deku is going to bring his hand out, webbing her directly in the face, as he's going to knock her across the face. I'm going to actually turn and grab her. I'm going to turn and throw her directly in Iron Man. As right now everyone, they do see that Deku, he's throwing around tons of force. And the thing does go in. Him trying to attack Deku. As right now whenever Deku, he does yell out for Jessica, she does actually get to dodge away at the villain. Her currently trying to fight off against Captain Marvel. And Marvel, she's not happy with the fact that Jessica already shocked her with 3 different Venom blasts. And right now, she's pissed off. This is definitely too hard for them to handle. Too much for them to handle. And Captain America, he does do one thing. He calls for a retreat. And the heroes, they back off. Right now, the heroes are given a task. They go into retreat, and others go to distract. And that does help out quite a bit. Especially because villains start to wreak havoc and draw other heroes' attention. Now, with that being said, Deku was taken back to Captain America's hideout. And wherever he was rushed to surgery. Because Deku, he was brought in on a stretcher. He fought off against, what was that? She-Hulk, the Thing, and Captain Marvel? Hell, he survived all 3 of those people fighting him. But right now he's been left in very bad condition. And his clones? They were made well aware as to what happened. Technically, they are not registered. However, they also don't exist. So they lie in a moral gray area. The moral gray area. Now, right now, the clones, they do actually back away from their secret identities. Or should I be saying, their superhero identities. Secret identities. Jesus. I got that so confused for a second. Now, right now Deku, he does lay in a hospital bed. And the clones, they were brought in by Captain America, who currently is trying to go through a ton of things in his head. He needs to face off against Iron Man, talk to him. I mean, he's just a kid who was hurt. He was just a kid trying to save his self, and they want to throw him in prison. Right now, Izuku is recovering, and when he does get back to the land of the living, Captain America wants to talk to him. Why he changed his mind, why he made the choice he did, why exactly he's going up against Tony Stark. He laid there unconscious, trying to recover from his grievous wounds. The thing fractured Deku's skull, and Deku, he broke parts of his back. There's also the fact that She-Hulk, she broke his ribs. And Deku, yeah, saying that he can stand on his own 2 feet, that is generous right now. Deku, he currently is driven into hiding, and with Captain America, he picked his side. And Deku, he does it to wake up, as currently Jessica Drew does sit there, her trying to ask Izuku if he's okay. Hmm? Where, where am I? You were taken down on the battlefield. We got you out of there and your suit locked up. Huh? Your suit. It's locked up. You're, you still got your mask on. Hmm? Deku gonna sit up. And right now he does gonna actually look down. He's covered in bandages. Ah, damn. Why do I feel like I was hit by a semi-truck? And then it backed up, and then went forward, and then back again. You did fight a lot of people. I know. Ow. Okay. How long was I out? A few hours? A few hours? Yup. You should be fine though. Um, Ben's taking your place, and Julia, she's gonna be there. She she and him, technically they are fine for right now. Just no more superhero work. Right. And if it needs to be done, they'll do it, but that means that they've picked our side. You picked this side already? Yep. You saved me. You needed help. I thank you. For what? Going against most of the people I work with already? Don't worry about it. But there is another issue. Like what? Apparently reality was rewritten. Yeah, I I heard about that. Mm-hmm. So we gotta deal with that. Figure out what happened there and, well, move on. I I know there's a few things I'd like to know. Is there? Yeah. But how are you feeling? Right now I feel terrible. Why? Because I could use a drink and I need a drinking buddy. Feel like you can walk? Question. Yep. Morphine doesn't work, does it? For our healing factors, it's strong enough given an IV drip and enough time. Same thing applies to whiskey, tequila mostly, and even some good bourbons, strong ones. You know what? Ah, my jaw. You feel like you can take a sip? I mean, technically we're outlaws, so doing illegal stuff is what we do, right? I guess so, but we're still the good guys. Are we? I like to think so. Now, Jessica does get a stand, and Deku, he actually does get to stand on his own feet. and the two do go to walk throughout the base. Deku, he does still have his injuries, but right now the two, they take a seat in her private quarters. And Jessica, she tries to talk to Deku about it. There are a lot of things that need to happen, a lot of plans that need to be enacted. And right now, they just need to figure this all out, understand what to do, and go from there. Deku and Jessica, the two, they sat there in her room, and Jessica was trying to talk to Deku about exactly what to do next. I mean, they're outlaws, they're friends. But what now? Now they face the world, a world who hates them, and would rather see them thrown in prison than out there saving lives. It's definitely a bad thing. And right now Jessica is going to walk back over. Her going to sit down as she does a grab onto the glass. Her going to hold it out for Deku. Ask him exactly if he's ever had any good whiskey. Not really, but I'm willing to try. Deku bring his hand up and going to pull off the mask, as Deku does have a few bruises on his face. And Jessica is going to see that. Harley's talking about it. You know, the doctors could have at least done something here. Hmm? Yeah, I'm fine, Jessica. It's just, I'm guessing they didn't touch the mask because, they couldn't grab it. What do you mean? My mask sticks to my face, remember? Right. I forget we can do that, honestly. Yeah, I forget about it too sometimes. I remember I once woke up on the ceiling. You did? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do, appreciate the drink, though. They're gonna raise the glass. Him going to put it in his mouth, as right now he does this one cough, after trying to swallow. Commenting on it. Oh god, it tastes like rubbing alcohol. Yep, it does. We're gonna take a swig, talking about it. Tastes like memories and things she'd rather forget. We're gonna set it down. As Deku, he does continue to at least drink, talking about it. You know, he's told her a lot about himself, but she's been awfully private. I know. I don't like talking about my past. Why is that? A lot. I don't fully want to trust you. I know your secret identity. I know who you are. You you say you look up to me, but I don't believe that. Hmm? Yeah. What am I to you, Jessica? A hero? Because most of the time I don't feel like a hero. You're a good man. Huh. I'm used to people referring to me as a kid. Listen, I like that you're talking to me, actually helping me. After after everything that happened, I don't know. It's hard to let people in again, especially whenever you know that they can get hurt. I get it. I I hurt someone I cared about before too. I accidentally hurt them with my venom blast. You did? Yeah. I I killed them and I was scared. I didn't mean for it to happen. I was still just a kid. And then I ran. I ran from my home, I ran from my parents, and then I found Hydra. Hydra? Yeah. It's another long story, but they taught me about my powers. They showed me a lot, and I learned how to do things. Whenever I stopped complying, they brainwashed me. They used me to be a killer. I just, I'm still scared about all that. I never asked for these powers. Neither did I. I know, but I just, I don't know. I'm glad I met you, Izuku. You've been able to keep me clear in my mind, focused, steady, busy. Jess, I hardly think that that's true. Deku turned to her, talking about it. She never asked for these abilities, but she was given them. That means something. If not to her, then to somebody else. She was given a chance to have superpowers. And so is he. Yeah, it does suck. There are certain things they can do, but there are also certain things that they can't. He's learned sometimes that you can't save everyone. Sometimes people, they die. You can try, but holding yourself responsible for their deaths isn't the case. He beat himself up for about Toga, but then he tried to rationalize it. Yes, he was there to save her, but everything else around her was trying to kill her. He was the only thing trying to help, instead of actively either trying to kill her or put her in harm's way, like the people who did that. And Deku, he breaks it down more like a soldier. And Jessica doesn't appreciate that. Her actually gonna bring her hand up and onto Deku's face, talking about it. You know, he really should get some ice. This does look a little swollen. Yeah, I probably should. Her gonna lean forwards and kiss Deku. As right now, Deku, he does go to have the glass stick to his hand. Him going to throw out his hand and try and set it down. However, he does miss the table before he does actually feel Jessica grab onto his arm, pulling it to the right, and him going to set down the glass. As he does let go of it and turn back to Jessica. As the two right now, they do start to embrace. This is definitely an interesting thing. Jessica and him. It's surprising. Now, we do currently cut to a room where someone, they're annoyed that Spider-Man got away. They're definitely annoyed about a number of things. But right now, they have the perfect opportunity. They had the pieces correct. They allowed Spider-Man to retreat, and they made sure that it looked real enough. The battle left him severely damaged and weakened. So, that means that Spider-Man, he is ripe for the taking. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.